But I'm super excited to collaborate with you and help and teach and train and educate and connect you to the world. But don't limit your greatness to somebody else's, top floor. What I mean by that, in many times we find ourselves saying, only if I know Adora and her people, or only if I know, Dennis Waitley and his people, and you ignore the hundreds and the thousands and however many more that you have next to you right now. One of the things that I talk to people all the time when I say, what is your goal for the end of the year? Man, I want to take this business global. Awesome. How many of your neighbors did you talk to? How many of your family members did you talk to? Oh, no, my neighbors is different. How are you going to reach the globe if you didn't even talk to your neighbors, right? So it's very important for you to make a decision to not be selfish with the greatness that we are experiencing here in the Diva Network, and give every single individual the opportunity to say, not right now, or no, thank you. And, I genuinely believe that what we have is needed in the world, just to bring some positivity to somebody's life, just to bring hope, just to give somebody a sense of purpose. One of the things that I love when I share my story with people, and, they hear the accolades, and, that's all great. I'm like, man, I've been in the United States for 21, going on actually 22 years as of this June that just passed. And I was homeless for 3 years. And they're like, wait, what? Like, yeah, in a third world country. What? And I didn't speak a word of English. What? So that right there, those little moments says, you gave me hope, you gave me hope, you gave me hope. Because sometimes we get caught up in the shiny object and we ignore the fact that for that person to rise to wherever they are, they had to suffer for so long, right? Look, I'm not trying to force my religion or my faith on anybody, but I'm a Christian. And by my faith, the concept is to go through the same thing that Messiah that I believe in, right? And that means that he or she has suffered in order to set up the multitude for better things, right? So when I see the struggle, the problems, the issues, the challenges, the insecurities that each and every one of us in here has, those are gifts. See, when somebody's like, I don't know, man, I'm like, well, let me show you this scar. You see this scar right in here? That's what happened and how I overcome it. You see this scar right in here, and so on and so forth. So I just wanted to start with a positive foundation to today's conversation, as it does not matter what you think you are or what you're seeing as far as inabilities or insecurities or lack. We all see your greatness. So no matter how you say, man, only if, I'm gonna say, oh, I know and I see you, and your greatness is beyond just today. I'm about to shoot from the hip, so get ready for me. Look, I'm gonna ask you all one big favor. Do not take offense or don't feel challenged with anything that I'm gonna say. I talk directly because I want to be effective and efficient, right? I don't want to give you a context and a story about the sun. I'm just going to tell you, look, that's the sun, right? But what I will tell you is I need you to put your right hand up and say, I will forget everything that I've done yesterday and prior. It is no longer relevant. Now, that's a tough thing to say, right? What does that mean, Ali? What do you mean that's irrelevant? Well, what I mean is many of us are caught in two things. One, our alter ego. We think just because in 2012, had the biggest boom in business, that whatever I've done in 2012, I just got to continue doing it. And then you realize ChatGPT just made me irrelevant. And then you realize every application in everybody's cell phone made me irrelevant. And then you realize my course that I spent a month on perfecting and promoting, nobody is buying them. Why? Because they realize I can find the same stuff on YouTube for free. And you're like, oh my God, what am I to do? What you are to do is to divorce yourself from yesterday and say, it's a brand new day. I'm going to learn new things. And I'm going to share with you what I have done to reinvent myself and has worked for me. So first things first, it does not matter what you tell the world about you. It only matters what the world is telling the world about you. Meaning we need some third-party validations. And no, I am not talking about the scripted testimonials. What I am talking about is you need to get yourself in certain publications or certain elements, like an interview in a third party. Now, here's the good news. Get closer and write this down. There are like 30 people in here. And if one texts the other and says, hey, can I interview you? Congrats. That's the third party. So today, you should hit up one another and say, hey, would you be open if I interview you? And then next week, You interview me, and just like that, we are creating third-party validation for one another. Third-party validation does not mean please write me a review. It means that you are in the seat of authority in front of a microphone, in front of a camera, and giving that knowledge, that wisdom. And it's coming across for free, right? Because everybody's comparing you for free. Let me tell you what's the most expensive industry in the world right now. You ready for it? Write this down. Ignorance. Ignorance is $1 billion industry right now, and it grows by the day. And what I mean by that, when you talk to certain individuals about anything, go ahead and try to talk to somebody about the blockchain. Guess what they say? Oh yeah, I watched a video about the Bitcoin thing. What? No, there's more to it than that, right? Did you know that hospitals use it? Did you know that, CPAs use it? Did you know that the government is using it? But all you know is, oh, I watched the Bitcoin video on it. So what I'm trying to tell you is you need to understand that you now are competing with free content. So if I'm going to give free content, I'm going to make sure it's the best delivery mechanism. And what is the best delivery mechanism? Interview me, baby. Get me on that microphone. Let me be the star of the show. And the beautiful thing is, if you have a cell phone, internet, and a Zoom or a StreamYard account, congratulations. You got all the tools that you need. You have all the tools that you need. I love what Adora talked about at the top of the training is, as long as you are doing something, you're gonna create visibility. The worst thing that you can do in our space is nothing at all. The worst thing is just sit your butt down and say, well, I don't know if this 36-second video that I've been working on for the last 48 hours is ready to go. Nobody cares. The average view on social media is less than 10 seconds. Did you know that? So when you're spending an hour putting the right emoji and the right music and the right captions, everybody says, skip. So you just need to increase the volume. All right, cool. Let me ask you this. How many times you see that lizard, Geico? 15 minutes saves you 15% or more on car insurance. Everywhere, all the time, in every format. Email, radio, commercials, YouTube, it doesn't matter where. That little green thing is everywhere. What do they understand? We have to be there all the time. There's going to be visibility. We understand that the more Ali sees me, when the day, it could be today, it could be 5 months from now, when the day Ali gets frustrated with his insurance company or needs to reevaluate his costs, he's going to say, let me check out that Geico thing. And that happens every single day. Every single day. Same thing with every ad that you watch. So they are everywhere all the time by third party. You don't see the CEO of Coca-Cola getting on commercials saying, I like Coca-Cola, you should drink it. No, they create content and they put it everywhere all the time. You and I need to make sure that we are at peace with the idea of creating content and putting it everywhere all the time, including the content that you think is not worthy. How many of you would agree with this statement? My friends and family will engage with a cat video or a baby picture that I post more than they would engage with my business post. Okay, so cool, guess what? That's a hint. You already know what they're gonna talk about. You already know what they're gonna like. Cool, post more of that. Take a video or anything that will create an engagement. An engagement is just a connection point, a contact, a like, a comment, or a share. How many of you get an average of 10, 20, 30 likes, comments, share on any platform in total in general per day? Like if you were to add all of your social media platforms all together, do you average at least 10, 20, or 30 new likes, comments, or share? All together. Good. Here's the challenging question. What do you do with that like, that comment, or that share? Uh-oh. I see you looking at me and wondering. Come on, put your head up. I see you hiding underneath your hat. You can say nothing.
I've learned to DM them and at least thank them.
You are onto something, my friend. So guess what we do? We need to DM them, not just answer in the comment or like it. Send a direct message. Hey, Adora, I just want to say thank you so much for liking my post. Hey, John, I just want to say thank you so much for commenting on my interview. Hey, Eric, I just want to say thank you so much for commenting, for sharing. It's called being a good, decent human being. And the natural engagement of me as a human being, when I say thank you, what do? You're welcome. Now we got dialogue. Cool. So we went from engagement to connection to dialogue. When you have that dialogue, that's when you say, by the way, what made you like that one post out of everything that I've ever posted before? Now you're going into discovery. Discovery is that the highs, the how are you in business, what's going on in life, how was the vacation, whatever it may be. At some point, they're going to say, how about you? Oh, come on in. Welcome to my world. I no longer have to try to hustle to get you as a prospect because you asked me. Now, here's what we do when we get how about you. We unfortunately go in sales mode. Too early. That's like me meeting you for the very first time. I love my wife to death. We've been together since high school. We're going on our 21 years together and about to be 18 years married, right? I know. We got something right here. I'm a closer. I close on day one. I asked her to marry me the day I met her. It was a joke, but here we are. But I will tell you this. It's as if you went to a club or a bar or whatever social outlet and you find the one. You're single and ready to mingle. You're like, oh, there she is. And instead of just being a kind, respectful person and just say, hi, nice to meet you, you're like, what's your social security and you ready to get married? She is going to say, my guy, peace, you are weird. So what we do in those DMs, instead of creating some kind of connection and allowing the person to say, I've been watching your content. I watched all those interviews that you are in every single day. We think that I now earn the right to just say, give me your credit card. Let's go and sign you up on something. And that no longer works. It used to. It no longer works. Now, I have to make sure that I am an advisor to your problems. So, what am I doing all day? I'm looking for problems. I know it sounds crazy to say, right? So, there are plenty of problems out there that people are dealing with, and you are the solution. You are the hope. The reason you are in here right now is because you are looking for a solution to a certain area of a problem. That's why creating a visibility concept, and congratulations, you are here, interviewing one another. Man, go do an interview and just ask, what did you learn from the visibility challenge today? Because here's what I learned, and just have a conversation between two individuals. Or, hey, you got a book? Cool, let me interview you. Because I have a course, interview me next week, and then just keep that going and growing. For the founders in our Diva network, what we do is we actually feature them and interview them and get them all over the mega platforms, the Spotify, the iHeartRadio, the Amazon Music, Apple Music, Audible.com, all over the map. By the way, what I just did, if you don't know what that technique was, it's called soft selling. Soft selling is when you say, hey, by the way, I'm giving away a Lamborghini. And for those of you who have the access to the key, congrats. That's soft selling. You just put it right there, trying to make some of you jealous. Crucially important for you and I to increase our level of visibility, not, and this is the real revelation that I want you to write down, not just marketing, but branding, because there are two elements there. Many individuals market all day, every day. That's why nobody wants to do business with them. But there are the select few who brand well. Let me ask you a question. When you're driving in the highway, what cars do you see for the most part? And no offense in any of these brands. The Toyotas, the Hondas, the $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 cars, the everyday average vehicles. But the moment there is a Bentley, what do we all do? We try to chase it. We try to take a picture with it. We try to we do something ridiculous. We're trying to look in the corner, right? Most people would even park to see that car. It grabs our attention in some way, some shape, some form. But here's my question to you. When was the last time you saw a Rolls-Royce commercial? When was the last time you saw a Ferrari commercial, a Lamborghini commercial? When was the last time you saw Gucci commercials? I mean, if you're in the plane first class, there's probably a magazine of Gucci on the corner. But it is all about the weight of the brand. So when you do a third-party interview, a third-party validation in the right platforms, right, the right documentation, your brand increases in equity, your brand becomes a little bit more valuable than he or she who's marketing all day, every day. So the person who markets on average goes after 100 to 200 people to get one or two, but the brand attracts 10 a day. By default, they're coming in. They're coming in. So my recommendation to you, do an evaluation, and we're going to teach you in Viva Network, how do I create a brand? Not just how do I market my course or my book or my product or my service. And you know why? No matter what you do or say about your business or product today, I guarantee you there's somebody online who's saying the same exact thing. As a matter of fact, if I Google your elevator pitch, I'll get 20 to 30 people that would show up saying the same exact thing. So what's the difference? How heavy is your brand?